Hi, my name is Sabine O'Laughlin and I am in Jacksonville, Florida. I am actually a pathologist, so hardcore scientist by profession, but I just wanted to say a few things about family constellation work and how it's impacted my life and how I am continuing to be amazed what the impact is at both personal, systemic, family levels. I didn't want to be there. I didn't go looking for this kind of stuff. I was sort of a hardcore scientist. And one day I had signed up, this is a long time ago, maybe 2004. I signed up for a class that I was taking at a place here in town, and I had the dates wrong. Now that's annoying to me, but I was there, so I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I want to give full credit to my teachers, Peter and Jamie Faust, who so eloquently got me into this. But I'm in this wrong place. Now I've kind of allotted a whole weekend to some kind of work that wasn't happening. But another thing was going on there at that time, and it was a family constellation workshop, and it said Bert Hellinger. And I just kind of looked at the sign, and I thought, yeah, that sounds too German. I don't want anything to do with it. Now, granted, I am German, hence I had the apprehension, but I didn't want anything to do with it. So out comes Peter and said, well, he appealed to my logical brain. He says, well, you're here. True. You already set up the tough time. You might as well just maybe you want to participate in this. I said, oh, hell no. I kind of looked into the room, the chairs in a circle, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is like people in there that sit around, they emote, they cry and stuff like that. I got nothing to do with this. I'm not sorry, but no sorry. Then he says, well, you don't have to do anything. I thought, well, okay. I'm here. Doesn't hurt to just sort of see, but I'll show you. It's won't work. It's not working on me. So, okay, so I go in there, we sit there, and sure enough, people sit there, they cry, they have all these things. They don't seem to mind. Actually, they seem to be very loving it. They're getting something out of it. They feel better, relieved, something is resolving. And I sit there and I'm stunned. Like, whoa, one of my worst nightmares was always, oh my God, don't get caught crying or let somebody else see you crying. That's even worse. So I'm sitting there, but somehow I come back the next day. It's a 2-day workshop. I come back. At the very end, they asked me, well, do you want to set up your own constellation? I'm sitting there like this. I'm like, sure, hon, I'll do it, but it's not going to work for me. It does not work for me. So he says, okay, fine. It's just go simple. Set up somebody for your mother, maybe for your 2 children. I have 2 children. And I said, okay, fine. Set up somebody for my mother, set up somebody for my 2 children. And it's like you set up a representative. And I thought, this has got to be hocus pocus, really. But somehow it was working. I don't know. So setting it up, he says, okay. Not much was said. Tell me about your mother. I said, well, she died when I was 20. He takes the representative of my mother, puts her on the floor. I lost it. I started crying. I could not believe it. I didn't even cry at my mother's funeral. I mean, something was clearly happening despite myself. I was fighting it tooth and nail. But, oh my God. And I started crying like I'd never cried before. And everybody was watching me. And I thought, oh my God, and yet I wasn't dying. It seemed to be perfectly okay. And it went on for days. And I thought, wow, this is just miraculous. So there's many, after that I got so intrigued by the whole thing that I signed right up and went to everything I possibly could go to and what have you. So this has been quite a long time since I've been dabbling with this, and I've seen real massive changes within families, within my family and ancestors and all these things. And now we've got this new situation that we can't really meet in person. Again, I have an idea that that can't really work because of computers. And so, but COVID came, and Judy, who leads these very practical, concise sessions. I love that. It's very practical, and it's not the kind of necessarily family stuff. Could be whatever, but it's very practical to your issues. Well, we did it online, and it worked unbelievably. I could not believe it. So even though we weren't able to actually be together, sitting in the same room, setting up, representatives within a field, within a spatial, block of, within a room, she set up something that we could then see on the screen and pick representatives to be moved around, and the field was building up just as well, and a lot was still taking place despite the online situation. A part of me really didn't believe that that could happen. And then there are actually some advantages to this online thing. One is everybody has a front row seat. Like, I'm sitting here, I'm looking directly at it. I am in full view. I can check with the side and say, well, can I just have the speaker view? Or I can have everybody there so I can actually see how the representatives can be set up and the people who are representing them. But there is something about the online format that added something to this whole setup. And although there are some advantages to meeting in person, there is something added to this online format, and it's very good, and it's really refreshing. I'm feeling rather taken by it as I'm talking about it, because you can feel the same or more things resolve or change when you're in this relationship through the online format. So once again, I was wrong about a bunch of stuff, and I love it every time. It's a new adventure. I can highly recommend it. The online format works perfectly well for this kind of work, and to some extent might actually be better. So check it out.